North Carolina's race for a state Supreme Court seat will not be certified at the end of the week, despite 2 recounts confirming the result. That same court ruled that it would hear a challenge from Republican appellate judge Jefferson Griffin. He trails incumbent Democrat Allison Riggs by 734 votes. Chief political correspondent Andy Weber reports on the justice's looming 60,000 ballot decision.
Griffin's legal team argues that votes counted in the 2024 election had issues with voters using improper ID for registration, overseas voters voting that were ineligible, and votes that weren't able to be properly challenged. Republican North Carolina Supreme Court candidate Jefferson Griffin got a win Tuesday in his fight to challenge some 60,000 votes cast in November. State Supreme Court justices say they will hear Griffin's challenge. A federal judge sent it back to the state on Monday.
If they were to invalidate over 60,000 North Carolina voters, I mean, that would be unprecedented in American history.
Certification in this Supreme Court race will be delayed, and both sides will have to make their arguments before the court. Democratic incumbent Allison Riggs is recusing herself, so conservatives hold a 5-1 majority.
This is about as friendly as you can imagine, at least in terms of partisanship. That doesn't mean that it will absolutely side with Griffin by any stretch of the imagination, but it does mean that if you're going to play the odds, this is the table you'd want to go to.
Western Carolina professor Chris Cooper says it's hard to predict what will happen, but a ruling in Griffin's favor would likely have ramifications up and down the ballot.
If the court does decide with Griffin, it then will introduce a whole host of questions, not just about this race, but about other races as well, and what effect those 60,000 challenge votes might have in those races.
North Carolina Republicans are happy with the court's decision Tuesday to delay certification, telling Queen City News the state election board failed to fairly consider their case back in December. There's no new word from Riggs's campaign, but the justice and state Democrats held a rally in Raleigh over the weekend. They accused Republicans of trying to undo the will of the people.
We live in a country where we respect the outcomes of elections, even when they disappoint us.
The rest of this month, both campaigns must file their arguments with the state Supreme Court, the last one due on January 24th, meaning a resolution to this dispute could come in late January or even early February. Reporting in Uptown, I'm Andy Weber, Queen City News.